everybody? This is Awesome Talk, and right now we are here talking to the great Teddy Faley, and we're going to call this In Bed with Teddy Faley.
We are in bed with Teddy Faley.
You just made that happen.
In Bed with Teddy Faley. So we're going to go around the room and introduce ourselves. I am Rick, the bartender here on Awesome Talk.
I'm Dave, the cameraman.
I'm Ryan, the brains.
Angela, the friend.
I'm Andrew, the beer drinker.
Sarah, the brawn.
Yeah.
And if you would please introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Teddy, the guy laying in the bed.
Awesome.
Teddy Betty.
It feels sexy.
I'm jealous of you. I wish I could. I have to become more proficient with Skype because then I could be laying in bed and doing this shit at the same time.
And we can mute you, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if we could only mute him.
So who influences you, and who are you currently listening to these days?
Well, nowadays I don't really listen to much. I listen to a lot of Reservoir Sound, which is basically like my folks, my buddies and shit.
Nice. Yeah.
I think they're putting out some of the best music, some of the best hip hop that's being put out right now.
I love it.
I like Kendrick Lamar a whole lot.
Yeah, he's doing some good shit.
Yeah, he's changing commercial rap quite a bit, and I think that's interesting. Really interesting to follow. In terms of influences, A$AP Rock is definitely
Oh, nice.
influence on me. I've been listening to that dude since I don't know. I've been listening to him since he was not official, I think. You know what I mean?
No.
Extra way. I just mean like I've been, well, I guess maybe I do mean that in an unintentionally hipster way. But I think a whole lot. I used to listen to a lot of Idea as well.
Yeah, Idea was fucking awesome. Rest in peace, bye.
Back in the day, like late 90s, early 2000s, there was only like 20 underground hip hop cats that you could find, period.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Like, it took an hour to download an MP3 and shit.
Oh, yeah.
The good old days of Winamp.
Oh, no, I hear you, dude. I hear you.
So it was easy to keep up with everybody back then. So I liked everybody back then. To a fault. I liked a lot of people who now I would look at as kind of pretentious.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that too, yeah.
I can agree with that statement on a lot of different levels.
Rick and I were talking about it the other night. I was talking to him about the difference between, lyrically, the difference between underground hip-hop and mainstream. And mainstream seems to be entertainment first, whereas underground seems to be almost poetry to music, in a way. I mean, I've always said that as much as I love your music, if you were just a writer who never, ever put it to music, you would be one of my favorite writers. And I've listened to you since, like, the fucking MySpace days. You know, like, I've always said above and beyond, you're one of my favorite writers.
We got him off the bed. You got him off the bed. You said MySpace. He got all ornery.
Oh, shit. It's like, I was saying to Rick, like, do you think that there's... I mean, I've been to like a million underground hip-hop shows, and the feel is different, the vibe is... Everything's fucking different. I've been to I've seen fucking Snoop Dogg and shit, like Cypress Hill. Like, I know the difference between the two. And I want to know if you think there is anywhere where that gap can be bridged, because there is such a huge difference...
Major gap.
...between what makes...
Yeah. But especially now. I don't necessarily agree with the premise, though. I think that by and large, when it comes to a certain faction of indie hip hop, you're going to get a lot of poetry first kind of stuff. I mean, you can look at a lot of like Slug's early work as like really poetic, and look at somebody like Soul, who is just nothing but poetic stuff, depending on who you ask. But like Copyright is also underground, and that dude essentially just writes, albums upon albums about how much better he is at rapping than you are.
Oh yeah, that's like 90% of this shit. I love. Like, I think that's another thing.
That's indie as well. But it's indie. It's just like different factions, and I think that nowadays it's more of a mesh than anything else, especially when the line between like commercial artists and indie artists is more blurred now than it has been.
Yeah.
Since ever. You got somebody like Kendrick Lamar who writes really, really good songs, like quality writing that you could look at as poetry as well. And not to I'm not trying to like sweat him that hard. He's just a really good example.
Nah, when the good ones come up, you gotta give them their
That
respect.
respect,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know. You could compare Kendrick Lamar to a bunch of indie artists, and if you would have played me Kendrick Lamar in 2002, I would have picked him as somebody that was on Rhymesayers or something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think that the more time goes on, the more blurred that line is going to get, and you're not going to have a whole lot of commercially incredibly famous people anymore. You're going to have indie cats who can kind of live an average wage with a modest fan base. And I don't think I'm answering the question that you asked anymore. I think I'm just rambling on and on.
That tends to happen a lot
It still
around
makes
here.
sense.
Yeah, I think what gets lost, and I think I hate to bring Kendrick back into it, but
Hey, no, dude, go ahead.
over these past over the past decade or decade and a half, is people trying to rap well. Like that was a thing that was like very important in the '90s. It's like, are you nicer than me?
Yeah.
Can you rap
right.
better than I can? And then it kind of fell by the wayside towards like late '90s when it was like, how poppy can you make your song or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was, but it's
The producers got their hands on it.
You would get somebody like Young Jock or somebody. Like, you cats ain't even rapping really. Like you're just.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible, dog. And like if you were to like read the lyrics, like if you were to just like here's some lyrics that I wrote, read that, read it out loud, you would sound like you're.
As long as it rhymed, it was rap.
Did you just say you would sound like you were disabled?
I'm serious.
No, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that boy. Yeah, he's that kid in town. He's a little special. We don't bother him.
He thinks he's better than everyone, but he's not better than anyone.
But tell him he's better.
Yeah, just agree, just smile and nod, agree, and eventually he'll fade into obscurity.
That's
He
what,
does,
that's
he
what
does.
they do with me because I'm crippled. I know how it works around here.
Disabled, please. Don't be offensive.
Yeah,
Little person.
Handy capable.
We like to be called little people, all right?
racist.
So when you come up with an idea for a song, how do you approach your DJ about it? Do you have I guess like do you approach him like this is the mood, these are the lyrics, like how do you two work together on it?
Give me a beat and I'll kill it.
I don't even come up with ideas for songs. I just write.
Yeah.
And like sometimes when I write, I'll be like, oh, this is the theme I see forming. Like, you know, as I'm writing, and I'll be like, well, that's what I'll write about. And then I'll kind of conform to whatever the idea was that I stumbled across while I was writing initially. But in terms of what I do with my DJ, that's a completely separate issue. I don't know what the hell that stuff does. I don't know what his equipment, turning things with the needles. I don't know what
It just makes noise. It sounds good.
It makes all the difference in the world, right?
I'm very lucky to have somebody as talented as Attic to, you know, be beside me with all this stuff.
That's
Because I can
awesome.
trust him completely. I can give him a joint and say, you know, go to town, and then he'll send me back his tracks, and I know it's good.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Did you guys like grow up together and shit? Did you meet through like scenes and shit? Like, how did you
Yeah,
guys
how'd that
come
come
in
together?
contact?
When I first started, like, getting my feet wet in the scene in Baltimore, I was with a group called Breakfast Records. And I'm still very close with those folks. They're really dope. If you guys want to check them out.
Okay.
Will do.
But we used to perform together, and we had a DJ named S.1, and he had a friend named DJ Attic who was DJing for another rapper in Baltimore. So I kind of knew of him, but that's it. And then I left Breakfast and started working with Cubby Bear. I don't know if you guys listen to
Oh,
Cubby Bear.
Yeah.
He was actually just
Dude, all night
playing,
we've been listening to Teddy Faley and Cubby Bear all fucking
We're
night.
getting
We
pumped
go back
up for
and
the
forth.
interview.
Yeah, man.
So, and then Jock, or Cubby, knew Attic much better than I did. So when I started hanging out with Cubby more and we started doing like the rave and shit like that, Attic was around all the time and we hit it off and we became, you know, instant best buddies. So that's kind of how we hooked up.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Now I got a question actually that'll tie right into that. Have you ever had like an aha moment, like you and DJ Attic just hanging out, and all of a sudden it just something clicks? And if so, would you care to share?
No.
He's like, no, we fucking hate hanging out with each other. We just email. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
no, I just file share, and then sometimes it's good, and sometimes I just go, oh, I must have deleted that one. Oops.
You know, that's the thing. I've never actually worked in the same room as him at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Bless the fucking internet, man.
That's awesome.
What did you say?
I don't work well with other cats in the room, and we just had a conversation about this actually. He doesn't work well with other people in the room either.
Wow.
It's kind of like it's not like we're dicks or anything. We just
You like your personal space. You know, you want your space. You want to create your environment.
you know you don't want to worry about other people being around at all. You
Was
know what I
it-
mean?
That is so true.
Was it-
Something with writing with somebody. I was playing with my play class, and it's one of those back and forth joints like Tribe Called Precedent.
Nice. Excellent.
That joint's gonna be really dope. It's called Carrot Soup, and we're gonna drop it as soon as I get off my butt and mix it properly. Yeah, and it's produced by Tom Billy Beats. But
It sounds
If
like
we can interject real quick,
Apple
because you
juice
just
and
you,
carrot soup, dude. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like a food-related situation
That's
going on
awesome.
in your world right now.
So for you, what is your philosophy behind that? Why give your music away?
I'm trying to be like Immortal Technique. So, it started with me not thinking anybody would ever pay for my shit.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit. Well,
That is
that's
bullshit. That is
I would if I
bullshit.
could afford it.
It's free, dog.
I'm really broke. I'm unemployed.
But yeah, no, when I first started, it was because I thought that the last thing the universe would allow to happen is for me to make any name for myself whatsoever on music. I just enjoyed doing it quite a bit. And so I did it and just made shit free. So, and it kind of happened by accident, I guess, with Apple Juice. I printed it as like a limited release strictly to sell tickets to Heavy Bear's album release show. That was the only reason that Apple Juice existed. I just got equipment, and I just stuck a bunch of shit on a CD that I had been working on and called it Apple Juice. I was really going to run like 200 copies, but it kind of, people enjoyed it quite a bit. So I just let it go up for free. And ever since then, it's kind of like, I just haven't had the, I don't know, I haven't had the balls, I guess, to just charge something, to tell you the truth.
I understand the feeling.
For the overhead in terms of making a record now is negligible. It's nothing. Like I bought all the equipment that I bought in 2008, and it cost me under $10,000 to get everything that I have.
Sure.
And I've never paid a dime into it since then. So everything I've recorded has been for no money. Like I haven't had to spend a dime.
Good.
Yeah.
And for every 20 people that download Apple Juice for free, one person goes on iTunes and makes a point to buy it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that whatever I get off of the $5 sale, whatever, it's like $3.43 or whatever that I end up getting from iTunes. That's profit.
Yeah.
You know,
And you also, my wife is a huge proponent of this. She loves it, and I'd like to, because once again, you're on the show, and we want to try and help make you money, and get like the ball rolling for you. It's the whole
We're here
point
to
of
help
having
you get paid.
You have a band camp as well, right? And
Yeah,
Bandcamp is a very interesting site, and you can just basically, it's like a donation site almost. Like people can, whatever you got up there, people can pay what they want and just show you love, right? Like,
I think Bandcamp it's crazy to me how much better Bandcamp is at what it does than every other site.
it is.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's people take it to heart. They see you on Bandcamp and they see you struggling and trying as hard as you can, and like they just, they can do what they want to do. It's like what Radiohead did that a few years back when they released it. If you want to pay a penny, go right ahead and pay a penny. If you want to pay 1,000, we'd appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like
And if anyone wants to pay $1,000 for any of Teddy's songs,
Teddy Faley is on Bandcamp,
totally
ladies and
fucking worth
gentlemen.
it.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, and he is. Yeah, he's one of the real dudes doing it right now.
We've got our clink of approval.
And just find me on PayPal.
Yeah.
We just give him
Direct
the money to
deposit,
run it.
please.
You don't have to download anything. You can just give him money.
just give it to him. Fucking throw her at him. how the Dropouts record, did that come about? And I mean, as far as writing and putting it together goes, did it come about a little bit differently than your normal stuff because it was a different sort of it was different. I know that was notoriously took a long time to fucking finally release. So
That had a very troubled.
You see this shit? I hope the world fucking appreciates this. Do you understand what we're doing for you, internet? This is the fucking analysis of hip hop. Okay?
This is how you
fucking
words to rhythms.
we somehow got Teddy Faley to fucking get up in here and crack the fucking G code and give you the fucking like.
With your empty
It's
booze
ridiculous.
No, I just want to say, dude, I've listened to you for fucking ever. I've said for so many years now that you're not one of my favorite musicians only, but one of my favorite writers.
Absolutely.
I've been a writer since I was little. I play harmonica, but I don't call myself a fucking musician by any means. But I just appreciate your writing. I fucking love it. I'm so happy that you were here on the show. I really hope that the next time, dude, every Brooklyn show you've played in the past, like, 5 or 6 years, I have wanted to be at every one of them and couldn't because I was too sick to go.
I wanted to be at every one of them.
I've messaged you about it and be like, I'm too fucking sick to be there, and it sucks because it's my home fucking town. But dude, I've been too sick to be at every fucking one of them, and I'm so happy that I was finally able to actually gimp my ass over to your show, and it was absolutely not a disappointment.
No.
And I just want to say that I'm so happy that you fucking did this interview, and I hope that the next time you play a show on the East Coast, I don't care if I have to pick your ass up in New York, that you will have a spot at this fucking awesome talk bar and drink with us for 3 hours on a Tuesday night while the live chat fucking tears us apart.
And then after 4 hours and several beers, you're gonna try to slur your way through some freestyle.
I would love to. And real quick, before anything else, I want to say thank you very much, Sarah. That was very nice. And you're one of my favorite folks to talk to on the internet that I know through music. And
That's awesome, dude.
You're wonderful. Going way back to the MySpace days.
MySpace days.
All the way back yonder
MySpace.
There's the
May she
MySpace.
rest in peace.
You let people know when that shit happens. What's your
And where to find
website?
it.
Where do people go to get the Teddy Faley shit? Like where's the best place?
The best place to keep up with, like, random joints, like Carrot Soup will be a random joint that we just put out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on a record or anything.
Okay.
The best way to get that stuff is to follow me on Twitter, probably.
Okay.
I'm Teddy Faley on Twitter.
Sweet.
And I got a website, teddyfaley.com, but it just sits there basically, and it just has like my records up there. I don't do anything on it. You can go there, download my records, but that's about it.
See what you've done to the point.
You guys did great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I would love to be in the studio next time I'm in New York.
All right, man. Hit us up, Teddy. We'll talk to you soon.
We have that recorded now. You can't go back on the
Put it on the internet. It has to be true.
Yeah, right. Thanks,
All right,
Teddy, man. That was awesome.
Yeah. Have a good
Greatly
one, man.
appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later, Teddy.
All right,
Later.
guys.
Later.
Mind your fucking attitude. Mind your fucking attitude. Mind your fucking shit. Mind your fucking attitude. Mind your fucking attitude. Jesus fucking Christ. Check.
Yo, I hear you doing your thing, right? How's the music treating you?
Wonderfully uncomfortable, this business drives you crazy. I told them fucking pay me, they said homie don't be lazy. Quit that shit complaining and get back to music making.
Let me get that shit for free. I'm making bill payments.
You know what? Fuck you in the butt, my dude, and swallow all the I'm sorry, man. I appreciate you listening to all my jams. Yes, I get you in the show for free and all your friends. That's the least that I could do after you stole me off the net. It's me that should be honored. Thank you for your time, right? I made for you this music, it's a story of my life. It's anything but boring, and I made it sound so nice just to beg for you to listen to it. Maybe once or twice, maybe. If you like it, you can buy it, maybe. I'm on iTunes and I haven't been able to pay my bills lately. What the hell I'm saying? I know all this sounds crazy. As an artist, I'm supposed to let the hardships not break me, but I'm broke.
Don't wanna
ask for mine's the way I get it. Donations accepted in between this and the next shit. Just thought I should mention, nothing of you is expected, but 11,000 downloads and I've never seen it sent. It's kinda reckless, ain't it? Bet you made more dough than that, complaining on some ain't no hip-hop music nowadays. It's entertaining. Motherfuckers should've shut their mouths and start making them payments. We too busy working 9 to 5s to ever make shit. So these bars are free, compliments of me, your mind. Mr. I'ma bomb your shit with nothing but a dime. I'ma tell you it like Brownie told me once upon a time.
Mind your P's and Q's.
And then I put it in a rhyme. Put the rhyme inside a song and mix the beat to make it better. Sign it to Uncommon Records from your favorite Edward. Do with this shit as you wish, it really is whatever. But maybe if you profit, you can break me off some cheddar.
Damn, that latency's like making me talk slower. Alright, here we go. Mind your P's and Q's.
Alright, say it regular one time too. Mind your P's and Q's.
Mind your P's. Mind your P's and Q's.
Alright, one more time.
Mind your.
Don't step on the Indian baby.
I'll try not to.
No, you won't. Getting closer.